people have said are the new contenders with the rotation.
Well, and interestingly, they're a big part of the block metagame.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, the blue-white Pure Steel Paladin deck had the advantage in the Tempered Steel matchup, but it could go either way depending on how these standard tweaks have started. So it looks like we're off to the races. Ari Lax leads on a turn 1 Vault Scourge. And
Wienburg, Seachrome Coast.
Depending on if you're a judge.
And Ari here has got a Singleton Micaeus the Lunar. People have touted that as potential replacement for the Steel Overseer.
There's a Flare Husk from Ben Wienburg, so the jig is kind of up for both players. I kind of know what's going on here.
What is that token he's using?
It looks like a moose, like a very Mexican moose. Oh no, it's not a Mexican moose at all. It's from one of the card alterers on site.
Oh, okay.
They have these like little things that you can tap, which is good because
yeah,
a square is hard to tap, but a rectangle you can tap.
So they both attacked without fear into each other. Ari's got the flyer flying over. Ben strikes back with his germ.
I love watching these decks play because they look so piddly and so innocent until they just suddenly grow teeth and kill you. It's like Tempered Steel or a bunch of equipment from out of nowhere. Yeah, that's Eric Klug's business card, an altar on site. If you come to the Star City Open events, you'll see plenty of card altars.
I believe his name is pronounced Klug, though.
Klug. Well, I wouldn't want to... Excuse me, Eric. Apologize.
Okay,
so Ben went for Pure Steel Paladin, but Ari dealt with that. I believe
it was a Dismember.
Dismember, yeah.
So
what else could it be?
He does lose 4 life for that. But he gains some of it back with the Vault Scourge.
Not so much going on for Ari, though. Just that Vault Scourge kind of hanging out.
No, you would think turn 3, that's the big turn. You got to drop your Tempered Steel, right? What could he have in his hand? More reactive spells like Dispatches and Dismembers, maybe?
Now, Ari and Ben know each other. I'm pretty sure they probably already knew the matchup heading into this game, so there's a good chance that Ari kept his hand based on him knowing Ben was playing Pure Steel Paladin. Looks like that's a Geist. Is that a Geist of Saint Track?
It was 3 mana, so...
Alright, well there's Hero Bladehold from Arilax. And Ari's not fooling around. The full 4 main deck Hero Bladeholds.
Wow. So it's kind of moving away from traditional Tempered Steel. Fewer artifact creatures here. Alright, now a lot of card shuffling in hand going on. Not as fast as Brian Kibler.
No Kibler. Oh, that video is so great. Is that 3 of the same card in Ari's hand? That's what it looked like to me. It looks like he had 3 dispatches.
It must be because he didn't do anything on turn 3.
Yeah.
Everything else...
Oh, he just held them up to the camera. He held them up to the camera, yeah. It was Hero Bladehold, Dispatch, I believe.
Can he hear us, or what? How did he...
Is he psychic? I think he just knows. He's like, Ari's just that smart. He's like, I'm a commentator. What would I be talking about if I was in the booth? Looks like there's a Sword of War and Peace down for Ben Wienburg. Now, that's pretty dangerous. All right, so Ari's going to serve in with that Hero.
Gets the soldier tokens, and there was some hand-waving probably explaining that I'm doing the triggers in the right order to make them 2/1s.
Yes, I'm not a gigantic buffoon. And noticeably, Ari leaves his Glazed Fiend back. He could have swung in and gotten 2 points of damage, but he wants to be able to block the creature with Sword of War and Peace on it. So Ari gets some soldiers. Flare Husk token blocks one of them. And there's hero number 2, Encore Performance.
Ooh. So if he gets a swing with those soldier tokens are going to be 3/1s off the double battle cry. Ben needs to do something here.
Yeah, and that'd be 4 soldier tokens, too.
What can he do? Not really much. He's got Mortar Pod and Dispatch. He could Dispatch. If he gets one more artifact, he could exile a hero.
This only deals 1 of the heroes, though. So I'd imagine Ari kept his hand because he knew hero was good in this matchup. And he was like, well, it's going to be a little slow, but I'll drop these heroes and just stomp Ben Wienburg. See if that's how it plays out.
And that's the power of scouting. If you know what you're playing against, you can evaluate your opening hand based on the matchup.
Or just having a friend who tells you what their deck is. Yeah. So Ben equips the Sword of War and Peace to the Geist of Saint Traft, and Ari's just going to chump block.
The Angel token is getting in for 4 damage, though.
Yep. This drops Ari down to 11. Now, how much damage is Ari going to swing for here?
Well, let's see. He's going to get 4 tokens,
This is
each of them
definitely
3
lethal,
ones. Ben might have a dispatch here just to tap one of the heroes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a dispatch. I see it in his hand just to tap a hero. That's still 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only 9 damage. That'll put him to 3 short. Yeah,
There
combat.
it is.
And tap your guy.
So 2 tokens, 2, 4, 6, 9 damage, as you said.
Drop into 3. And Ari, let's see what Ari chooses to go for here.
Can't really do much because the
Is that another
Saint
hero?
Traft is hexproof.
I think that's a 3rd hero he could play if he wanted to. I think he's deciding. He's wondering if Ben might have some kind of wrath or something in his deck, or if he should just go for it if it's going to matter. Because with all those creatures in play, it's probably unlikely the extra hero is going to matter, but it would prevent 1 life gain from Ben Wienburg's Sword of War and Peace. So it can make a difference.
Oh, you mean the 1 damage, right? You're saying Ari.
Oh, right. You gain for 1s in your hand. Correct.
He's thinking about it, Arilax, and he's going to tap some mana here. What is he going to cast? I believe I saw a Glinthawk Idol in his hand,
I
which
might have drawn Glinthawk Idol this turn.
can block the Sorted Guy. Yeah, taps 2.
Caution them to shuffle well.
No, he's going for the hero.
All right,
Changes his mind.
It's hero time. Ari's.
Triple hero.
I'm not going to fool around, says Arilax.
Just has to make sure he survives this attack, and it'll pretty much be over. He's got 2 cards in hand, so the Geist could hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, plus an Angel is 8, 9, 10. So 10 potential damage, 11 equipping the Flare House. So Arilax currently can survive at 1 life.
Yeah, I think what Ari was doing the math on that on his turn, figuring out what could Ben have, and I think if Ben had like land, Pure Steel Paladin, equipment, he would win. But
Well, there's some
about it.
combination, like a land, mortar pod.
Right.
He only needs the 1 more damage.
But Ari's decided to play Tempered Steel today, and there's Brad Nelson right there in the background, hanging out.
I'm sitting in his seat, keeping it warm. All right, there he goes. Ben goes for the attack. They count it up. It's 10 damage. Ben gains 5 life.
Goes to 8.
Angel token goes away. Oh, he had the mortar pod. Wait, is that game? That has to be, right? Or did he have enough mana?
I think Ari just won. I think Ben was 1 point short.
Or 1 mana short?
I think 1 mana short. He had to have the other
He couldn't
lands.
equip the Flare House?
Yeah, he couldn't equip the Flare Husk and play the Mortar
Yeah.
Pod. Pretty sure that's what just happened.
Well,
Yep, looks like Arilax took the first game.
I thought he had enough, but maybe...
Well, Flare Husk it's 1 or 2 to equip.
It's 2 to equip.
It's
One
two,
to cast, 2 to
he need
equip.
4 lands to do it. He only had 3
and he
lands.
only had 3 lands that whole time.
So he
Wow.
I think it was a pretty risky play by Ari. I think I would have played the Glinthawk Idol there, just to block.
Yeah, just to block the
you have
Sorted
2
Guy.
heroes next turn. I mean, but
Okay.
but Ari still pulls it out.
Wow.
Smiley.
Very, very close. Very fast, but very close. So let's take a look at the sideboards.
Yes, for sure.
What is Ari going to do here? He's got Oblivion Rings, possible Revoke Existence. Seems good against all the equipment. Timely Reinforcements. That's interesting sideboard to have in a nominally aggro deck. Gideon Jura. That seems pretty good.
You want to go big?
Phyrexian Revokers.
It's okay. Name some equipment. Name War and Peace or something like that.
Spell Skites.
Yeah, I think
not really doing much here. An extra Shrine of Loyal Legions and an extra Macaeus, the Lunarch.
So I think the cards Ari want to bring in will probably be Oblivion Ring. Like the cards, I could see Oblivion Ring or Revoke Existence. The Revokers, I'm not sure. I haven't played this matchup enough. If War and Peace is really crucial, it might be worth bringing in and name the sword.
Yeah, and the Miser's Gideon Jura might be fine.
Imagine Shrine of Loyal Legions would probably come out. Seems like the match goes pretty quickly, and you can't afford to just wait around building up on counters.
Yeah, that seems kind of slow. Definitely want to keep these dismembers and dispatches. Getting rid of the Pure Steel Paladin is one of the most important things.
Definitely. And you don't. The other thing is, you have a lot of good answers in your sideboard, but you don't want to load up on too many of them, because otherwise you'll just have this hand of all reactive cards, and it's like, well, I mean, Ari, even with his insane Hero Blade Hole draw that game, the fact he didn't have anything early really set him back. Maybe, let's see, Spinethopter's blue, that could be relevant.
Oh yeah, Spinethopter, being because Ben has Sword of War and Peace and Feast and Famine, so the Spinethopter is one of those crucial guys that can block either of those swords. So keep those guys in.
So I'm not sure
exactly. What can Ben do?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Ari's going to sideboard. Let's look at Ben. Ben's got Revoke Existence, 4 of them, which is certainly going to come in. Yeah, the full set, not fooling around. He's got a Mentor of the Meek, which could be okay if you think the game's going to go long. Hero Bladehold seems good. He's got another Sword of War and Peace, which seems good. He's got 2 Swords of Body and Mind in his sideboard.
But he's not going to bring
those in. And an Oblivion Ring. Probably going to bring that in. What is it going to take out? It's just... Oh, I didn't see this before. Ben has 4 Invisible Stalkers in his deck.
So this is... Okay, this is kind of a hybrid Pure Steel Paladin Neo Cobblade.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Pure Steel Paladin, but he just, threw in some of the new hexproof cards, which is fair. Geist of Saint Draft and Invisible Stalker, both very good with equipments on them. And just Invisible Stalker is especially, if they don't have Liliana, he can be rough to beat. You go turn 2 Invisible Stalker, put Angelic Destiny on it.
Yikes. And it might be crucial here that, unless, you said they were friends and they might have shared each other's deck lists, but if Ari doesn't know about those Invisible Stalkers, because we didn't see them in Game 1.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've talked about what deck they're playing, but the exact details, I'm not sure. Although Ben ran over to tell all of us, so maybe he did the same to Ari.
There goes the banana in the background.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly is going on there.
I have not investigated, but
showing off.
There's a guy wearing a banana suit. So possibilities are just, having some fun, wearing a banana suit. But, Magic players, they like their prop bets.
Not that we bet at a Magic tournament. But
no, just in general.
Outside a Magic tournament, yeah.
Saying, hey, bet you this, and then if you lose, you have to wear a banana suit at the tournament. Okay.
Seems good. I'll do the worm. Why not, right?
Surely I can jump over that card.
They are a good source of potassium. That's the good news. So.
Gavin Verhey here with nutritional facts.
So turn 1 Seachrome Coast for Ben Wienburg.
All right, Game 2.
Another Flare Husk
is up a game.
Same thing we saw last time. And once again, Glaze, or not Glaze Fiend, Fault Scourge.
Glaze Fiend?
I always want to call it Glaze
The
Fiend.
Shards of Alara.
Yeah, it looks very similar. It's got the same mana cost, same kind of art.
It's true, and I drafted that archetype once, and it was ridiculous. I had 3 Glaze Fiends in my deck.
It's also an artifact black card, so they fit same mana cost, fit in the same category.
What was a 0/1 flyer that gets +2/2 whenever you cast an artifact or an artifact enters the battlefield? I don't remember which.
Yeah, good with Shrine of Loyal Legions. So Ben Wienburg serves in for 1 with that Flare Husk, and then goes for Revoke Existence on the not Glaze Fiend, on the Vault Scourge, doing some business. So Ari brought in those Spell Skites. So it looks like he wanted those to deal with any removal. And
he left in the shrine.
So it looks like Ari's gone. He's decided to be the control deck this time around, which is interesting to me because it feels like Ben's deck is more set up to be able to use Pure Steel Paladin and gain a lot of advantage. But if Ari is able to play a control deck game, I can see that totally happening. You just want to go larger with heroes.
And Ben needs to read the shrine, knocks over the counters. And he's loaded up his board with a Geist. 2 and 3.
Is that a Machias the Lunarch? Oh, Machias the Lunarch comes out to play. 1 counter.
That's an interesting play. So
Picks up the Shrine of Loyal Legions. Ben has to read it.
Yeah.
Eduardo Seifert points out on Twitter, very good point. You didn't see the Invisible Stalkers because they're invisible.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense, right?
There could be one on the battlefield right now, and we can't see it.
Probably off camera. So Ben serves in using the Geist of Saint Draft to good effect.
7 damage right there, and then follows up with a Sword of War and Peace.
Not looking good for Mr. Ari.
And Ari missed his 3rd land drop there. This could be over very quickly,
Well, he revokes this War and Peace.
but still,
Shrine of Loyal Allegiance is on 4 counters, so next turn he could crack it for 5 if he draws a land.
still needs to draw the land.
And then he could pump them all to have a bunch of 5 2/2s, which is solid. But he has to draw a land to make that happen.
But does he need the block here to stay alive? He's going to take another 7.
And then there's
Depending
no way to
on-
interact in the air either.
Okay, well, he's
Oh man, Dispatch.
dispatched to tap Micaeus. Ari taps it for the ability in response. At a counter.
And I think is
That's
that
the
an,
Invisible Stalker.
that is the Invisible Stalker. And Ari just concedes. We did not see that Invisible Stalker for very long. Funny thing about Invisible Stalkers.
We saw it, though.
We did see it.
We definitely saw it. I saw the ghost.
I think you'd probably see an Invisible Stalker right before it kills you, right?
Actually, it's not a ghost, huh?
It's a human.
It's the Invisible Man.
Which is very strange. My opponent, because how it interacts in limited is actually very relevant because you can put all the the human bonusing equipment on it. You can put the bonds of faith on it to pump it up.
So a blue-white deck with Invisible Stalkers. Possible draft archetype.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Invisible Stalker is a pretty infuriating card. My opponent played one against me and then put a +2/+2 enchantment on it and put another +2/+2 enchantment on it.
Some number of turns later, you're just dead.
I was literally nothing I could have done. Did I open up Liliana? No. Well,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of hexproof. Like you said, it's very frustrating because you can't interact with it at all, and they can just do stuff to make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
They occasionally have these blowout games where they're just like Hexproof Guy, Dark Favor, or something, right?
Oh yeah, in M12, I've lost to the Sacred Wolf Angelic Destiny. No, not Destiny. Yeah, Angelic Destiny. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Nothing you can do about it.
I mean, it is all upside, which is certainly nice, but certainly can create some limited frustration. Especially, I think the big thing about Invisible Stalker for me is just it's unblockable too. So just you can't interact. At least if it's if it's like a Sacred Wolf and you put like a Goblin Warpaint on it, well, you can block and make it happen. But with Invisible Stalker, you can't block it, you can't kill it. It's just kind of this thing hanging out, not being nice to you.
First pickable?
Probably not first pack, but going into pack 3, if you look at your deck, build the good deck for it, have the blue-white deck.
I'll force it. I'll force the Invisible Stalker.
The cards will always come. That's what Brian David Marshall always taught me. The cards will always come. I remember I was listening to a draft when Mike Flores were doing one time, and they were trying to draft this Empty the Warrens deck. And pack 1, no Empty the Warrens. Pack 2, no Empty the Warrens. And pack 3 just got 3 Empty the Warrens, a grape shot. They're like, yeah, you just draft it around it, it'll come eventually. So
I do like that about the triple set drafts. When you get 3 packs of the same set, because you can kind of hope for your archetype to come later. Whereas if you do a full block draft, if you don't get what you need in pack 1, you're like, okay, well now I gotta think of something else.
I think my least favorite kind of draft is when it's first set, second set. Because full block, it's all right, you get the full block. Or I guess it's the other way now, right? Second set, first set. Because full block, it's you get the full block. When it's one set, it's you kind of get to build these strategies around drafting a lot of commons. But when just that one pack of the second set, it kind of throws you off a little bit. Although I will admit, it's much better now that you open it first. I do love that change.
Do you think it should be second set, first set maybe?
Whoa. I think that would really radically change up how it works. Be a very interesting change to draft, that's for sure, because I don't know if you would do that just because there might not be enough cards. The idea is, the first set is bigger, so there's a lot of different commons to go around, and then the second set it's smaller. But it'd be something fun to try. I don't know if it's optimal, but it'd be fun to try out.
So I noticed there during the sideboarding, Ari was changing some cards back. So maybe he went to the control version of his deck when he was on the draw. Now that he's on the play again, he might have put all his aggressive cards back in just to try to overwhelm Ben Wienburg.
Yeah, it's also, you could have seen after sideboarding, well, that didn't go so well.
That's true. It didn't.
Let's try this again. I really think that Ben's deck is better set up to be the controlling deck. He's got 2 good hexproof creatures, and maybe it's after Ari saw the Invisible Stalker, too.
Yeah.
But he's got 2 good hexproof creatures. Pure Shell Paladin is a huge mana and card engine going along. So I think you want to be the beatdown deck if you're Ari likes.
It's interesting here. Ben Wienburg has one. What is that called? Moorland Haunt.
Yes.
That's the blue-white token-making land, right? And he's listed as Mox Opals in his land section, which they're essentially lands.
It's Moorland Hunt as cards have been popping up everywhere. We've seen Craig Wesco's playing a white weenie deck that splashes blue just for Moorland Hunt.
Wow.
Like people are playing this card all over the place, and you know, getting spirit tokens that you can put swords onto in this format is very good because they're like wipe the board, make 1/1 soldier.
Really, you don't really want it. It doesn't really work in a control deck,
Right.
does it? Because you have to exile creature cards from your graveyard.
Works well in a beatdown deck.
Yeah, as a finisher, once everything has died, now my land is going to start generating some advantage.
It's kind of like that thing of, you know, a deck needs a way to push through his last 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
And you have this land, it's like, okay, I'll have Judgment you. Well, okay, make a token, untap, put equipment on and attack you. Then you can do the same exact thing the next turn.
Yeah, I think when people initially saw it's like a land that makes tokens. Okay, this is like Vitu Ghazi, the
or like
city tree.
Kildorian Outpost if you're really old school, right?
But it doesn't work as well as those cards did in the slower control decks.
Unless, of course, you're doing the whole mill thing.
Milling yourself?
Yeah.
But you still have to have lots of creature cards in your deck.
Yeah, I'd play some weird deck. Some very strange deck. But who knows? In this shot, it's all about the graveyard strategies. We'll see if anything comes up.
Been shuffling for a while here. Alright, draw your hands. Draw, draw, draw. Okay, Ben's looking at his hands, thinking. Ari is looking at Eric Klug's business cards.
Well, yes, this is a very fine business card. Really, it's great work those altars are doing. I think it's always cool. It's really neat if Star City's expanded and have, you know, these altars at their events. It's always fun to go wander around, look at cards that, you know, I'm not going to buy, but they're sure pretty to look at. There are a lot of people who collect them. It's hard for me to pay that kind of price, but if you're interested in altered cards, the work that these guys do is impeccable.
And we have RK Post here this weekend as well. One of the most famous Magic artists, I would say, right up, you know, up there with Rob Alexander, and yeah, those two.
John Avon.
Oh, John Avon, yes.
Yeah. Mark Tidden.
Not sure how to pronounce it. I've heard it.
I've heard it both ways.
Tidine.
Yeah. Looks like Ben's going down to 6 cards here after thinking about it for quite a long time. Mulligans are big in this matchup. But yeah, RK Post, famous one.
Yeah.
And he's very outgoing at a lot of events, too.
Yeah, John Avon and Rob Alexander are probably most famous for their various lands. RK has, you know, Avatar of Woe, Morphling, Lightning Angel, I think, are his 3 most famous cards.
Yep.
Very interesting, kind of a different perspective on the card art.
I have Lightning Angel back at home. No, not the original.
card?
Not the original. Yes, I have the card too.
I also have a Lightning Angel card.
But not the original art. But I own a print of it. It's good art. He comes to this, like the Seattle pre-releases often, so I collected some of his stuff over the years. His style is very distinctive, which, you know, a lot of Magic artists have their own style, but, you know, it's like him and kind of like Rebecca Gay really have really interesting styles. You can just tell by looking at them. All right, so turn 1.
Vault Scourge again.
Vault Scourge down.
Ben does not have the turn 1 equipment.
Mulligan looks like the Mulligan's hurting Ben there. And another Vault Scourge down by Ari. So setting himself back in life a little bit, but those Vault Scourges will make up for it in time.
Oh, they'll make up for it, especially if he's got a Tempered Steel here on turn 3.
If he's got the turn 3 Tempered Steel, it's blowout time. All right, well, there's the Paladin, and Ari instantly dismembers it with his 1 conveniently left open mana. And if he's got if he has the Steel here, it's going to be blowout city.
Nope, no Tempered Steel, so game might go on a little longer. He's got the Machias.
Okay.
Misses his 3rd land drop again. But if he uses... What do you think he's going to do? Is he going to use the Machias immediately when it's off of Summoning Sickness just to make them 2/2s?
So there's the Moorland Haunt, by the way, for Ben, which is pretty interesting. I think he probably crack out right away to make them 2/2s. Although if the game looks like it's going to go longer, it might be right to keep him around. It takes, you know, 3 turns before you'd be able to get 2 activations out of it. But if the game's going to go longer, it could be really worthwhile. So yeah, okay, he revoked Existences 1, so I'm pretty sure now
he's going to wait.
Yeah. No reason to burn your Macias.
Yeah, you want to get some value out of it, so he needs to get a second creature out.
I couldn't quite catch Ari's hand there, but judging by the slow slide of drawing that card, I think he's got Tempered Steel and just waiting for that third land to deploy it.
He's got a hero. I did see that.
Yeah, I saw that too. 2 mana.
It's the Invisible Stalker.
The Invisible Man comes out to play. Alright, Ari kicks up his Macias. He does have the Tempered Steel in his hand, but he does not have a third land to make it happen. I think he has Timely Reinforcement sitting back there too.
Alright, so now he uses Macias to pump his team. So again, the Steel Overseer replacement here is doing its slower job of pumping the team.
Yep, and so he could, if Ben wants to, he could opt to trade with that Memnite, but I don't think he will.
No, not with a Memnite. He really wants to get rid of that Vault Scourge.
Well, the Memnite can get out of hand pretty fast, especially if Ari draws his third land for that Tempered Steel, but it seems like Ben's route to victory is probably putting something insane on that Invisible Man. Oh, no, he just goes with
double
both.
lock.
All right.
Okay.
Deliberates, and then Ari's going to go up to 18.
I mean, that's a fair play because Macias is still around. Next turn, Memnite would become a 3/3 potentially.
Right, can't efficiently block anymore. Inkmoth Nexus comes down for Ben Wienburg. Yeah,
And a Mox Opal, which if he activates the Inkmoth, the Opal could activate. But he has enough mana, really. He's got 4 lands.
Ari's counting up Ben's cards to see if someone... I think they're just determining if there was like an accidental draw error or something like that. That's normally how you would do it.
Yeah, count up all the cards that have been played, cards in hand, etc. Take mulligans into account. Any card draws, cycle effects you have to take into account, fetch lands. And
Wait, yeah, I was going to say fetch lands were the ones that I was tripping me up to. Yeah, from a judge, that's exactly the best way to do it, is just count it up. And
yeah. And you have to look at the other player's graveyard too. Like if they have discard spells, it might mean that Ponder in the guy's graveyard did not cycle itself. So you have to ask, like, how did that, what happened here?
So it looks like Ben dispatches the Macias, gets that guy out of the way.
Right, so he activated the Inkmoth Nexus to gain Metalcraft.
Right, and there's the third land, Tempered Steel, and so...
Ben is going to use his Moorland Haunt, exiling a creature to make himself a spirit token.
Yay, spirits. Man, yeah, once again, the Moorland Haunt showing up in all kinds of decks. This could be, for everyone out there, all of you non-Medinas trying to make a pretty penny, that could be a card to watch.
Is Medina here today?
I don't think he is.
He's from kind of this area-ish,
Yeah.
right? Cincinnati or
No,
so?
I think he's supposed to be here. I haven't seen him when I'm walking around, but, 540 players.
Yeah, it's easy to miss one person.
Yeah, especially when they're, busy trading out, who knows where. Looks like Ari's hand is Dispatch, Revoke Existence, Timely Reinforcements? Or he still has that hero,
had
too.
the hero. Yeah, what is Ben going to do about this? Now, 4/4 Vault Scourge. Excuse me.
Yeah, that shows you what happens when you put that Tempered Steel down. It just starts to get out of hand. So Ben's going to opt for a new plan. Time to poison you out.
Time to race.
Flare Husk on Inkmoth Nexus gets in for 2. And there's
poison.
Another Flare Husk.
So, could potentially get in for 3 poison next turn.
Puts Ari on a 3-turn clock.
If he draws another land, I believe.
And
And
Ari...
Ben's just going to keep chumping with those spirits.
Oh, and there's Hero Blade. Ari just tosses it out. Victorious. He found his 4th land at last.
Well, Ben's living off the top right here.
Yep.
Did not draw the land he needs, it looks like, to double equip Flare Husks. So he'll equip one, leave the other one. It's going to need to chump block. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he chump blocks the hero, he'll go to 2.
Dispatch.
Oh! That was off the top, too.
Yeah, good draw for Ben
Wow.
Weinberg.
Ari fumbles with his lands.
He's just so
The
excited.
dispatch was... It's not devastating, per se, but... He's still got a couple of cards in hand he can use, but wow. What a timely dispatch by Ben Weinberg.
Yeah, talk about timely reinforcements. That was a timely dispatch. Right off the top there, too. Because if Ari untaps, he's so far ahead, he might just win right then and there. But looks like Ari has a dispatch too, but with only one artifact in play, it's on tap mode right now.
But that might be enough in this race. Because what's poison count should be 4 now.
Yeah, Ari should be at 4 poison, and Ben should be dropping down to 8 life. And Ari passes back to Ben's turn.
There's some thinking, counting.
I think life total dispute, potentially.
There's our poison.
Oh, I like it. It's new and spiffy.
Does it have the poison symbol in the background? The Phyrexian mana symbol?
It does. How incredible
Nice.
is that? The amazing things Jeremy can do.
No?
And Ryan O'Connor.
Ryan O'Connor. Not Ryan O'Connor from Kansas City.
Not goofy hair Ryan O'Connor.
Well, I call him Ryan Fro-Connor. I think he got a haircut, though.
He did.
Okay.
Pretty sure. At one point.
So, got in for another... Oh,
Tempered Steel number 2. Numero dos, and that's it.
that was it.
Ari Lax takes the match one top deck after another. And there's...
Yeah, I had the dispatch, but
Still
didn't
had-
have the artifacts.
Still had all these.
So, yeah, at the end there, Ben got in for another attack with his